pop
like
in
it.
here. It's just because I'm coming here to try to tell you something.
Okay.
Hey, Abe's in here with you too, guys.
Oh, is he? Okay. Okay, sorry about that. We kind of had some mix-up here, technical difficulties going on. But not only do we have audio back, we now have a second man with us, Mr. Abram Moon. I heard you are in the house, man. You got a copy?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you loud and clear. How are you doing tonight, Abram?
I'm doing good tonight. I'm excited for some great racing tonight. Iowa's a phenomenal track.
That it is. With it only being 0.8 of a mile, I mean, guys are going to be aggressive. Only 130 laps, looking field window about 60, 70 laps. You expect in sort of that slice in the middle, or you think these guys are going to play aggressive, smart, conservative, over conservative? It's sort of what's the mentality for these drivers as they head into a track like this?
I think we're going to see a couple different strategies tonight. Obviously, with this track, they're getting about 60 to 70 laps per tank and only 130 laps. You can definitely split that in two. However, your tires, if you're going to do 130 laps on two sets of tires here, that's going to be tough. You're really going to have to manage your tires, manage your car, keep it clean. I expect other guys to, maybe make this a 3-stop race. If we get some green flag racing and green flag pit stops, I definitely see guys splitting this into 3 different parts. So I think we'll see a variety of different strategies tonight.
And there you go. I mean, obviously, with different strategies does come different styles. So could we see sort of a mix-up with guys punching the pedal too fast, getting in rear ends of others, causing early cautions, and possibly ruining the guys that have their strategy set and game planned from the beginning? And if that does happen, could that already switch up people's game plans just about maybe 2 or 3 laps in the race if it does present itself?
Oh, it definitely could. People don't know what kind of strategy you're going to be running. So there might be guys in the middle of the field that are thinking, you know what, I'm just going to, save and try to make this a one-stop race. And guys behind them could be like, well, I'm going to go run as hard as I can and get as many spots as I can early in case that early caution flag comes out. So it could be a little dicey here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple early cautions, but this track spreads out nicely. I think we'll eventually get some really nice green flag runs.
And as you were talking about that, guys are now starting to grid up on your pole. Surprisingly to me, I don't know. I obviously racing around him a lot. He is quick. The number 4 of Kerry Moore is sitting on pole with a 24.034. Right behind him is the 18 of Levi McCarty, and running in with a 24.054. Then you got the 81 of Jaden Gimbel, 24 of Fletcher Quigley, 86 of Thomas Delago does round out your top 5. Abram, why don't you take 6 through 10?
In number 6, we have Brian Kaufman. 7th, Roll Thane. Hope I'm saying that right. 8th, we have Mr. Anthony Zirkle. Coming in 10th, we have Cole Thomas. And then rounding out the top 10, we have Mr. Sean Kastritza in the 46 machine.
And starting in 11th, we do have the 8 of Matthew Fleming. 12th, the 77 of 7 Crawford. 13th, Tony Wrestler. 14th, Reese Kelva. 15th, Joe Tardif.
Yep, it looks like we have in 16th, Trevor Zalesny. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It sounds right. And then we have
sure
James Woodard in 17th, Mr. Bob Narber in 18th, and then Woody in rounding out the field in 19th.
Unfortunately, Woody does get an EOL because of something that happened in the past race, but hey, I don't think that's going to stop him. He said his original plan was to start in the back anyways, so to let these guys feel out for each other, then he'll attempt to pick them off and sort of go at it about his race. But I expect to see tire lockups happen quick. These guys are now starting to flow out on the track, and I tell you what, a lot of these guys got beautiful, beautiful paint schemes, and especially the Beef Jerky Unlimited cars supporting breast cancer this month.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. Obviously, they've got great beef jerky. But it's also good to see these small businesses, support Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Obviously, it's one of the terrible things about life, cancer. But it's good we have guys in this league that are bringing awareness to it.
Most definitely, yes. Everything you said, breast cancer, it's a terrible, terrible thing for people to go through, especially, females to go through. And it's so rough, especially with stuff going on. And you have those survivors, and unfortunately, you have some that do pass away from it. But I just want all of them to know that we are here. There's a reason we drive pink, not wear pink. Well, we do also. We wear pink and drive pink all throughout the month of October, and I think all throughout the entire year we should, as it's just so huge to these women being able to defeat it, being able to get past it, ring that bell and say, hey, I made it. It's so good to see.
I agree 100%, Byron. And one name, when we were talking about those pitch strategies, well, I'll hold my thought here. We're about to go green, Byron.
There you go. Pace car gonna dive off. Kerry does have the pole position. Green flag is waving. Those two starting side by side. Levi, Kerry taking a drag race originally, but now Kerry gonna pull out already to the lead. He's moving to the top.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of lines these guys are going to run early on. If they're going to try to save those tires or they're going to try to fight hard for spots. Jaden already taking second place from Levi McCarty here.
Yeah, Jaden looking to be fast very quick. He's going to attempt to do something as he already made up one position, trying to track down the 84 of Kerry Moore. Slowing up just a bit. You can see the 18 of Levi McCarty now looking to the outside, trying to get around him. Ooh, Kerry got loose. Jaden gonna look to the outside alongside that 18 of Levi McCarty, Abram.
Yeah, looks like these guys are playing nice early. They're trying not to force it. They see, the guys in front of them getting a little bit loose, so they're kind of giving each other just a little bit extra room since it's so early on in this race.
Yeah, Jaden Gimble now able to take over the P1 early on in this race, but don't count out the 18 of Levi McCarty. Bottom lane is the best lane to pass. Mid lane is about the best lane to run if you're saving the tires. Right now, Levi trying to put that in effect, putting pressure on that 81, looking for that position.
Yeah, definitely trying to put some early pressure on Jaden Gimble here. Curious to see. Oh, looks like he's going to try the top side.
Interesting move from the 18 of Levi McCarty, but he's going to try something new, try something out. If it doesn't work, hey, you can always go back to what you're used to. Watch this run. There you go. 18 of Levi McCarty going to take a huge run out of 4. He is now contending for the lead and going to be able to steal that position, Abram.
That's one of the great things about Iowa here. There's so many different places to run. If guys run in the low lane, you can run that high lane and get a good runoff and make that crossover move like we just saw Levi. That was textbook.
And with this sort of being a 130-lap race, with tires wearing off fairly quickly, as you see the 81 of Jaden Gimble getting to the inside, these guys are going to be battle for battle, first place for first place. But how much is this going to burn your tires compared to this 84 Kerry Moore, the 01 of Brian Kaufman, sort of sitting in the back, spectating this and saying, hey, my chances to pop up is when these guys have burnt their tires maybe 20 or so laps into the race.
Oh, they're absolutely loving what they're seeing out of Levi and Jaden right now. They're telling them to keep fighting side by side because this is just playing out well for them. They can run single file back there. Just kind of get in line and watch. They can watch the other guys burn their tires up and they can just, cruise around and wait for their moment to strike.
I believe there is a wreck in the back. Let's see. No caution has been called. We'll have to see who may have been the wreck. It looks like the 61 of Anthony Zirkle. Caution has been called by the admin. iRacing didn't catch up to it, but our race control did. Best part about having a race control out here, it looks like 77 of 7 Crawford was also involved in the incident. Currently sitting down pit road. Man, hard hits for these guys early on. Fast repairs going to happen fast as we are checking out the replay. It's so unfortunate when these guys get tangled up so early in the race. It could cost the rest of their race.
Yeah, you hate to see that. I can change up some strategies now. since we've got 4 sets in the pits, I would not be surprised to see a lot of guys come in and get 4 fresh Goodyears.
I'm expecting the same. I think you come down if your tires aren't feeling so good. Actually, as this caution was called, Levi was able to take the lead back, so Levi going to be your leader. He's going to be sort of the one that makes this decision of whether or not everybody else goes. Jaden, though, more than likely going to come down. At least that's what he had his eyes on set. But everybody else, wow, faked out Levi. He's the only one to come down pit road.
Wow, looks like we just have the 18 of Levi McCarty and the 24 of Fletcher Quigley that came down. Couple more takers at the back of the field, but from the front pack, just Fletcher and Levi. That's a surprise. That's a surprising move to me, Byron.
Yeah, you don't typically see that happen so fast. I didn't think these guys were already going to start playing the mind games, but yeah, they're there. They're ready for the mind games. But now, does this mind game sort of present something to these guys that did come down pit road? It looks like some are receiving just fuel. Unlike that 61 of Anthony, he's going to use up his fast repair fairly quick. 1824 going to pick up 4 tires and fuel. So, question is, 4 tires and fuel, are they going to be the ones to prevail? Or are the guys with no tires going to be able to prevail? Or are the guys with just fuel going to be able to prevail?
You know, I think this can still play out well for the 18 and the 24, the Fear Free Motorsports team. If a caution comes out fairly soon here, again, like within 5 to 10 laps, I could see them staying out under that caution while everybody else pits so they can get their positions back. Or if this goes green for a while, you know, they're going to have, 10 lap fresher tires, so they're going to be able to make some moves throughout the field. So I think it'll work out for them, but you usually don't see 15 cars stay out after a couple of the leaders pit.
Oh, no, most definitely. I 100% agree with you. I'm kind of surprised on how many actually decided to stay out, as it looks like 61 of Anthony Zirkle is going to get his damage repaired without using the fast repair. So that's kind of interesting to see that happen. As you see 77 of 7 going to roll off too. He's going to sort of use his fast repair super early on. He was talking about apparently somebody was blocking, caused up some stack ups, may have sent him or may have sort of blocked him up and roughened him. But that 61, man, hate to see that happen so early. But this 81 of Jaden Gimbel must be feeling pretty good sitting on this number 1 right now. But 84 Carey Moore is right there. Who do you think is going to sort of be the one that's able to out-edge each other when we go green?
You know, I guess we'll see how hard those tires took a beating there when Jane and Levi were fighting for a good, 8 to 10 laps there. We'll see if Carey and Brian Kaufman, Cole Thomas, Tommy DeLago, we'll see if they can take advantage of that 81 of Jay Gimbel, because if he doesn't get out into that fresh air with a good restart, he might lose a couple early spots to these guys behind him that weren't pushing their car so hard early on.
Yeah, and I think with that 81, like you said, doing that, man, the question is, though, now if you're starting behind that 81, sort of know that battling was going on, like the guy like Brian Kaufman knew exactly what was going on, could that sort of present a situation where we can see a 3-wide restart with the 01 trying to get around the 81, because maybe he has tire wheel spin or whatever that could present a issue for this 81 that allows the 01 or the 84 to capitalize on that situation?
I mean, it's always a possibility. We did see how hard Jay was running those tires early on, but I think there shouldn't be too much of an issue with tire spin, just because it was only about 8 to 10 laps. But definitely after a few more laps on those tires, they're definitely going to start screaming compared to the guys behind them.
Yep, there we go. So it is 1-2 green. Really quickly, before we do go green, would like to thank Graham Construction for going out, sponsoring the Xfinity Series alongside Beef Jerky Unlimited, sponsoring the Truck Series. I mean, tonight you go to a track like Iowa. Tomorrow, trucks are going to find themselves at Phoenix. So this is going to be sort of an interesting shift for some of these guys that race both series. The lights are off the pace car. We are getting ready to go green once again. Jaden Gimbel does have position number 1, 84 of Carey Moore. Abram, take us green.
All right, and we are about to go green flag racing again at Iowa. Jaden with a great jump. We'll see if he can hold. We have a wreck in the back, waiting for a caution here.
Man, guys are looking like they're never mind. I was about to say 24 Fletcher Quigley. He's finding himself on that bottom half of the apron, which typically you don't see. Car's not looking too beaten up. Steven Crawford doesn't have too much damage alongside 48 Joe Tardif. Joe Tardif's rear end is all beaten up. He is really quickly checking out the replay. I mean, Joe is all smashed in the back end. And just, it looks to be just a huge stack up. And Fletcher may have found himself getting into Joe. And it's so unfortunate to see that happen so early. Only 12 laps into the race.
Yeah, you hate to see something like that. You can't really tell what happens. Can't tell if Fletcher jumped the start or Joe missed a shift. Either one, that sucks for both those guys. It's a bad situation to be in, especially early on in a race.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing to see happen, but looking up at this 81 of Jaden Gimbel, he's still able to hold this lead. 43 of Cole Thomas actually now going to find himself battling for position number 3 next to that 01 of Brian Kaufman. And don't count out that 86 of Thomas DeLago. They are slowly starting to create a gap on... Oh, Thomas gave Cole... My apologies there. Got a sore throat. But that 43 got a little bit of a punt from that 86, or maybe he got a little bit loose. Not going to make any accusations. But Iowa is always a tough track when it does come to keeping your car stable coming out of the corners, especially when you're running that low lane, Abram.
Oh, it definitely is. Here at Iowa, with these Xfinity cars, they're very tight into the corner, but they're very loose on exit. You can definitely catch it with your wheel, but it's definitely white knuckle. I mean, you got to be pushing it to the absolute limit to get the most out of your car and get the most out of your lap time. So not a surprise to see guys, getting sideways out of the corners.
Yeah, and speaking of white knuckle, going to be here a little for the guys over at Martin Sports, Mr. Levi McCarty. I bet his knuckles aren't white with his beautiful gloves he's got on. As I say that, he slides to the inside here, going to battle side by side with the 84 Kerry Moore. Looking to the inside, looking for position number 2. If you were driving on the track right now, Abram, if you were about maybe second mid-pack, what lane do you prefer this early on into the race?
I think this early on in the race, and we're kind of seeing it, a lot of guys are running that middle to high line. Middle is probably the preferred line to run to have speed and conserve your tires a little bit. That's the one I'd definitely be looking at. And we see the 18 of Levi McCarty already up to second place. So he's driving with a purpose tonight. He's up like 15 spots since that last caution. So he is driving. He's driving the tires off that thing.
Yeah, and he does have some tires to be able to use until he sort of becomes even with that 81 of Jaden. We saw it happen. Yes, Jaden faked out Levi, but here's Levi back to give pressure to this 81 of Jaden Gimbel. He's going to make a move to the inside. Looks like Jaden may have said take that spot. 18 of Levi now going to take the lead and looks to be driving away. The 81 trying to come back. These guys are going to go battling side by side again. But issue is that 18's got better tires, Abram.
Yep, that 18 has better tires, and eventually he's going to win out on this battle. But still, for Jaden to still be up in the top 2 after staying out, after battling so hard on that first green flag run, he can't be mad about where he's sitting right now. Second place with older tires than the guy in first place, that's not a bad spot to be.
Yeah, second place, not a bad spot to be at all. With the 86 of Thomas DeLago, though, trying to close in. Jaden Gimbel right now running 25 ones. Levi last time ran a 25, so you're already seeing about a second to maybe half a second fall off on these guys already, and we're only 24 laps in of 130. Now, with that early caution, does this sort of present a situation to the 18 of Levi? As you see, he is now currently catching lapped cars. The 48 of Joe Tardif, you can see the rear end bumper all beaten up. But with this, him pitting 10 laps already into the race, we can expect him to maybe see one more pit stop versus guys finding themselves maybe 2 or 3 more pit stops?
Yeah,
Is that potential?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. We'll see if any more cautions come out. But if this thing stays green, I think we'll see Levi come in one time, and we might see other guys come in twice. So always a lot of strategy involved, and always obviously a little bit of luck involved, depending on what strategy you're running, for it to work out in your favor.
Oh yeah, luck is the huge thing when it comes to racing. If you find yourself going in a wreck, you gotta hope luck's on your side that you can make your way through. But the 86 of Thomas Delago now going to find himself getting around this 81 of Jaden Gimbel. Jaden is starting to fall back fast. Already a second off his original pace. We said tires were going to come into effect. I didn't think they were going to come in this early.
Yeah, they definitely, if you run the tires hard for about 12 to 15 laps, you drop off like a brick here with the iRacing tire models. You don't get that much life out of your tires if you're driving it too hard. So I'm not too surprised to see Jaden dropping off. I'm a little surprised to see him dropping off this much, but when you have Tommy Delago pass you on a long green flag run, you don't feel too bad because Tommy's great at saving his tires.
Yeah, Tommy seems like week in, week out, he knows what he's doing with this car. He knows where to save it, best spot to save it, and he always finds himself, he's sort of that lone hunter that's quiet throughout the fight up until there's a few left. That's when he pounces, and always seems like that's the right time to pounce. But really quickly, we are going to do a Graham Construction making your way through the field. Really quickly, going to check up on all drivers throughout the top 10. Currently, your leader is that 18 of Levi McCarty. Has an excellent run so far. Almost a second and a half gap over the 86 of Thomas Delago, finding himself in second place. Followed right behind that 81 of Jaden Gimbel. Abram, take us through 4 through 6.
So the graph is not popping up for me, Byron. You might have to take that.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so position number 4 is the 84 of Kerry Moore. Right behind him is the 5. I'm sorry, not the 5. In 5th place is the 01 of Brian Coffin. Slowly being trailed by this 8 of Matthew Fleming. He is charging hard really quickly. We're going to sit here for a second, try to see if anything's going to happen. Nope, looks like they are going to play nice right now, so we'll head on back to this 46 of Sean Kastritza. Currently finding himself in position number 7. And right behind him is the 60 of Rule Thane, seeking his way position 8, looking for position 7, 6, and 5 if he can catch them. The in 9th place, 43 of Cole Thomas, currently battling between that 48 of Joe Tardif, a lap down car. And rounding out your top 10 is the 233 of Tony Ressler. Man, he's had an excellent season so far, coming in here, being able to run top 5s, top 10s every week. He's finding himself, being able to battle, knowing what he needs to do. But man, that 23 of Trevor Zalesny is starting to look a little bit faster. Maybe his tires are starting to come alive, Abram.
Yeah, they might be starting to come alive. Those guys that were running in the back a little bit, they might be at advantage here with this green flag run. Some of these guys up at the front ran it pretty hard early on, so we might see some guys from the middle of the pack start making their way up to the front here as we see Tommy Delago starting to make up a little bit of ground on the 18 of Levi McCarty.
Ooh, looks like there may have been some contact in the back between the 01, 60, 46 maybe. It looked like we saw some skidding, some smoke flying up in the air. 01 of Brian Coffin. Yeah, it looks like there might be rear end damage to that 46 of Sean Kashutza. Maybe new, maybe old, but if we can, we try to get a replay of this and see what happened.
Yeah, to track like this, Byron, you expect to see a little bit of damage on the cars. Doesn't look like it's too bad, though.
Just looked like Sean gave the bumper to the 01, but nothing too effective for him that will hurt him, as the 01 of Brian's just going to be fine. But now the 46 of Sean Kashutza going to find his way around. 01, he's starting to back up a lot. So is he trying to conserve the tires that he lost while spinning them and going a little bit sideways?
Yeah, that could be a possibility. And sometimes you got to regain your car. If you make a couple bad corners or get a little bump in the back and get sideways, these cars just don't go back to driving straight. Sometimes you got to take a lap or two, come off the pace a little bit and gather your car. Man,
it looks like Woody is up in the wall and he's refusing to get off that wall. 32 of Fireball Woodard. Sorry, could not spit that one out. Woodard. I don't know. I'm tired of trying to fight it. You know who I'm talking about. Found himself up in the wall. It's so unfortunate to see that happen, see that early. But with sort of a drag of wind, not too much. Actually, it is upped a bit. Now up to 15 miles an hour. You think that can sort of affect his arrow if he was to stay on the track? As I say that, he's currently coming down pit road.
Yeah, I was just going to say he did a great job of keeping it on the wall there with traffic coming from behind him. He did a great job of trying not to take it off the wall and potentially cause a big wreck. So props to Woody for keeping it up there and keeping all the other drivers clean.
Really quickly, I would like to thank everybody that has come out to the stream. I'm seeing guys out here. Looks like Two-Step, Bear, Mr. Zerk said forgot to click the fast repair, wasn't ready to be dumped. So Mr. Zerk looks like he did manually disconnect. So that's unfortunate for him to end very, very quickly. But I believe there's people out here cheering for Tony. And a lot of guys that came out. Appreciate everybody that's come out to the stream. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate you being here. If you do get a chance, make sure to hit this follow because this is where you will find us for the foreseeable future alongside Signature Esports. Make sure you check them out also. Jason will be joining us just a little bit later in the stream. But Abram, this 18 is out to such a huge lead. He's got a second and a half, maybe a second and 2/10, but he's being able to keep that gap right where it is, and Thomas is not able to close on him.
Yeah, he has been keeping the gap pretty steady right here. I've been looking at the lap times, and they're kind of going back and forth. One lap, Levi will have Tommy by about 1/10 of a second, and then the next lap, Tommy will have Levi by about 1/10 of a second. So they're really going back and forth right now. If I had to put money on it, I am a betting man, Byron. If I had to put money on it, if we go another about 20 green laps here, I bet Tommy will be able to close that gap just a little bit on the 18 of Levi McCarty.
Yeah, it looks like Mr. Bomb Dude is out there agreeing with you. Bomb said, watch out for this 86 of Thomas Delago. He's trying to close that gap. He's trying to make it smaller and smaller. And like you said, you're a betting man. I like your bet, but I think another guy that we could be sleeping on, maybe if a caution does come out a little bit later in the race, is this 84 Kerry Moore. I like taking the long shots. He ain't no long shots by me, but with this gap he does have, it could be a potential, could be able to close it, but he is currently finding himself battling the 81 of Jaden Gimbel. Guys now starting to get spread out. Do you think this is sort of just a product of, well, I wouldn't say low car numbers, but a little bit of one of the lower races we have seen so far? Is it just the fact that they haven't been able to find themselves battling so tires aren't wearing off as much?
You know, this is just one of those tracks when you have an early caution, you have a couple incidents on the track. You know, we've both been in there. We've both been in the racing. You know, tempers start flaring, and guys, you know, they don't want to be the next guy to bring out a caution. So you see a little bit more cautious racing on the restarts, and that's what causes these long green flag runs, because guys get spread out, they're running different strategies, tires are feeling completely different. But the way the field's spread out right now, it's going to take somebody self-spinning at this point to get in our caution out here. So I don't want to commentator curse that, but we're having a nice green flag run right now.
Yeah, green flag runs are the best. I mean, I enjoy. Obviously, yes, guys get spread out. We half the time don't know what to talk about, but it's enjoyable. It's nice to see guys being able to go green, as we did receive a raid from Signature Esports. Man, appreciate the raid. Can't wait till you hop up here. Hope that race over there, Next Gen's at Texas, went well. You got a little fan, though, out in the chat. Mr. Abram Vols cheering you on, man, saying, let's go, Abe.
Appreciate it. Vols fan 88.
But as we check back in here, just want to quickly remind y'all, I'm sorry, losing my words here. Appreciate y'all joining the stream. I'm Byron Jones. My man right here, also up in the booth with me, is Abram. And it's just it's seeming like this is starting to become a stretch fest. Guys are trying to figure out how far they can stretch their cars, how much their gas can find themselves, and I mean we're seeing guys like Reese, 7 Tony about to find himself a lap down. Multiple guys are going laps down. It's just a sort of an effect of a short track, but guys are they got to know what they're doing at this point, right? At this point, they sort of have their head set on where they want to be.
Yeah, you definitely have your head set on where you want to be. Obviously, if you're the 48 of Joe Tardif, 24 of Fletcher Quigley, 77 of Seven Crawford, that's a mouthful. You're a little disappointed. You know, when you come to a track like Iowa, you're thinking, all right, 5 cautions minimum. So these guys, they're 1 or 2 laps down, you know, they're kind of banking on being able to pick up a lap or 2 early with waiver rounds, but that just hasn't been the case right now. One early mistake, and that could potentially be their races. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if we get bunched up again, we know cautions can breed cautions, but until that happens, I mean, we're having a great green flag run here. And to your point earlier, the 84 Kerry Moore, great having him back racing this week in the Xfinity Series. He's doing a phenomenal job, and he definitely has a podium car tonight.
Yeah, he's trying to close that gap in on that 86 and on that 18. All 3 are finding themselves about 2 seconds out. Bomb dude, I didn't forget you, man. Appreciate you out here also. But yeah, guys are finding themselves about 2 seconds apart. And then you look at the 8 of Matthew Fleming and the 81 of Jaden Gimbel. These two trying to close gaps on each other, trying to do something. And you also see that 60 of Rule Thane in the background of this 81. This 81 is trying to close in on this 86. I'm sorry, not 86. 84, I believe. Yes, I'm losing my numbers here. So sorry, losing my mind. But they're trying to close in while that 60 is also trying to close in. So if you're this 60, if you're this 81, do you say, hey, don't battle me, let's work together, let's try to do something and catch these guys in front of us?
Yeah, at this point of the race, when you have a long green flag run like this, you don't want to be battling too hard side by side. I mean, that's just going to tear up your tires even more. You kind of want to get in line and work together to catch the other guys on the lead lap. But like what Vols was saying in the chat there, these cars get really loose late on in the run. If you gas it too early coming out of 4, you can get sideways and you're going to tear up your right rear. So we'll see if that comes into play later on, and guys can make some passes on some guys getting sideways.
Yeah, I mean, if you do get sideways, that could present a caution possibly. Maybe these guys get in a caution. Maybe it shakes up the field a bit. Obviously, we haven't seen it much, but we've seen it maybe once or twice where guys find themselves spinning out right in the middle of pit cycles. So guys are spinning out, pit cycles are happening, guys are now getting trapped laps or maybe even a lap down, and now they're scrambling to figure out what they need to do. They're getting mad at the guy that spun, this and that. Now they're trying to figure out, do I come down for tires? Do I not? Are these guys going to come down for tires? And at that point, it's a mind game. As you see the 60 of Rule Thane going to find himself moving on down pit road. But this 46 of Sean Kostritza, man, he's going to slowly close in on this 81 of Jaden Gimbel. 77 of 7. Wow. Got on that back bumper. The 46 thought I was going to spin him. But that's another issue. The difference between guys on old and new tires. You're going to see guys faster on old tires. As Kerry Moore locks it up. Going to bring it on down pit road. Also got the cone. Man, what did the cone do to you? But old tires versus new tires is such a huge effect at a track like this. You got to sort of understand who's who, where's where, this and that. You got to mind your P's and Q's when it comes into something like this. And what do you do if you are a lap car? As you see 32 Fireball on the bottom lane. But what do you do if you're a lap car? Do you play nice or you want the lead?
If you're a lap car, obviously you want to play nice. Ask where whoever's on the lead lap, ask where they want to run. Let them by. Unless you're like fighting for a lucky dog, usually general etiquette is to let a car by. But as I'm looking at these new tires catch these old tires, if I'm one of these lead lap guys and I'm seeing people getting this close to the bumper and almost causing accidents, I'm going to be a little scared to short pit. I'm going to be scared to to pit before my gas is out, because if you get caught in the pits and a caution comes out, I mean, that can be your night. We saw that a couple weeks ago with the 18 of Levi McCarty twice on pit lane. He got caught a lap down. It's just a terrible feeling, especially a track like this when you know there's a lot of opportunities for cautions to come out.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing you got to think when you're a driver, right? Is that, and when you look at someone like the 18, like the, I believe 48 may have came down. I don't think the 86 came down, but when you're that 18, you like that momentum, don't you? You're like, hey, these guys are going to have to come down. I can still stretch it about another 10 laps or so, and that could present myself in a situation of a caution does get called. I'm the only one left on the lead lap, because he does have down to 6, currently a lap down.
Yeah, 18 definitely, I expect to see him stay out as long as he possibly can, especially with a big lead like this. You know, he might come down once everybody pits. He might find himself down, you know, a couple laps after that. But it's a scary proposition when you got a big lead like this. And like I said, getting caught in the pits and having to start in the back again, you know, that would feel awful. So I expect to see the 18 of Levi come down, but I wouldn't be surprised for these guys behind him in second, third, fourth, and fifth. They're going to have to short pit, as we see Tommy Delago is bringing down pit lane right now as I'm speaking.
The guys now starting to make their pits, starting to come down pit road. That currently leaves the 18 of Levi McCarty, the 8 of Matthew Fleming, 43 of Cole Thomas, and the 81 of Jaden Gimbel to be the only guys that haven't pulled on down pit road just yet. But there's a huge but in this all. These guys could be trying to stretch their fuel out to maybe 70, 75, maybe if they can, 80. If they do get there, they only get that one stop versus somebody like maybe the 223 of Tony or the 84 of Kerry Moore, finding themselves having to come down one more time. It's all about that mentality game now, and who's going to be that first guy, that last guy that pull the trigger and find themselves down pit road. And as we are currently going on down here, it looks like just Jaden. Let's see here. Currently looking, guys are still playing the mind games, but it looks like Jaden, Cole are the only ones really refusing to stay out. And I believe I did hear it just right. I believe the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jason, I believe you just popped up in here, if I am not wrong.
I did. Looks like Iowa's been pretty hot and heavy for you. Jaden Gimbel coming to pit road, looks like right now.
Yeah, a lot of the guys starting to find their way down pit road. And there you go, guys. That is Mr. Jason, also known as Signature Esports, coming out here. Appreciate you coming out here. Obviously, you are the lead of this Xfinity Truck Series, man. Glad to have you tonight. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm trying to. I was trying to finish up that race and make sure that I got over here as quickly as I can. I'm seeing Levi McCartney driving the Gravedigger scheme around here. He's doing phenomenal. It looks like he's got a heck of a lead. He's lapped the field.
Yeah, Levi right now actually. Abram and I caught it early on. Levi was pretty much one of the only fast cars to find himself down pit road early on in this race. He got faked out by the. What was it? Was it the 81?
Jaden Gimbel.
Yep. Yeah, the 81 of Jaden Gimbel got faked out by him about 10 laps in the race. Decided to get 4 tires and fuel, finding himself out in the lead. This is a position he wants to be in. Abram, he's refusing to back down right now.
He is refusing to back down right now, and I'm looking at his lap times. He's running about 1.5 seconds off qualifying time. So, you know, really not as much drop off as I was expecting to see. I was expecting to see a good 2 seconds, but he's maintaining a pretty good pace here. Curious to see how long he's going to keep it out on the track. I mean, he can go for another 10 laps or so. I wouldn't be surprised to see him come into the pits in about 5 or 7 laps.
And Jason, if he does find himself down pit road with him waiting so long, do you think it sort of pushes him, as I say, that he's going to find himself down pit road currently? But with him doing this, how much of a difference is he going to give up to this 84 Kerry Moore?
Gary Moore, lap back. It's going to take him roughly about a total of about 50 seconds to get in and out of pit road. I think that Kerry Moore is going to unlap himself here, but you watch Levi McCartney. He's coming out on lap 73. He'll be fine. I think he'll either come out in third or he'll come out in the lead. One of those two. I think my telemetry is still updating here, but Moore still has a lot of time to make. Levi McCartney on pit road in his pit stall right now. He'll be able to catch up. He'll be able to make some moves here. Kerry Moore is going to take the lead here just in 2 shakes of lamb's tail.
Yep, and if there's one well-documented thing in this league is the weakest part of Levi's racing game is his pitting. He always seems to find himself either too far or too short of his pit box, speeding or what have you. Even saw him run over one of his guys down there one race. So
looks like he got ran over.
Yeah, look, he ran over one of his pit crew. That was a whole thing. That was a few races back, but he did a great job with that pit, so he's going to be in great shape.
And he comes out fourth here. That's kind of a big thing. I was one position off, but his lap times before going in were roughly what Kerry Moore is running now. He gets off pit road. We're going to see if he's going to be able to carry more speed around Iowa.
Yeah, Kerry was actually one of the guys that found himself pitting very, very early. He was sort of the guys that started dragging everybody else in, finding himself out in the lead, sort of where he wants to be. But this 18 is charging full steam ahead. They were having a battle originally between the 18 and 86. 86 was struggling to keep up with the 18, but now this 18 is going to attempt to get around him on the outside. Levi refusing to back down, going to get around this 86, finding himself in third place. At what point do we see him catch the leaders, Jason?
I think that you're going to see probably over the next 5 laps, he's going to whittle himself away. Now he's got Zelezny in front of him, some lap down traffic to contend with, but he's going to utilize that high line as long as possible. You saw him get around Tommy Delago. Tommy came in on lap 64. That's 8 lap fresher tires in a B car on a car that's utilizing a high line, a high midline, gets down below the yellow line right there, or to the yellow line right there onto the backstretch. I see him battling Kerry Moore. Kerry Moore's into 3 right now, getting ready to hit the front stretch, and Levi's not far off.
Yeah, Levi's doing a phenomenal job tonight. He's been running any line that he wants to tonight. He's been doing a phenomenal job. It just looks like he's in control of his car anywhere he wants to put it. So I definitely see him getting up to the 84 Kerry Moore sooner rather than later.
And I think another piece that could come into play is sort of if he pushes the car too much. If Levi finds himself pushing too much, with rarely we don't see, as you see now, he's attempting to get around this 60-yard rule thing, going to do it with ease on the inside lane. If he does push it too hard, he could find himself looping himself. And if he does loop himself, that's going to burn up 1, his tires, 2, his position, and 3, that's going to throw out a caution, which is going to shake up just about everybody's race, going to keep them where they are. But man, I mean, you're looking at guys, like you said, Kerry, he was originally in corner 1 when Levi was coming around to the start stripes. Now he's only half a corner behind him, Jason.
5 laps is what I called it. Here he comes. He's lap 80. We talked about that for roughly about lap 75. So he's already there to the back bumper, 3/4 of a second. The difference into turn 3 and turn 4. Front stretch is going to be busy for him. He's going to start looking at where is Kerry Moore going to be driving here. The 84 doing a great job of just maintaining what he has. 0.4 of a second is going to be the difference. And midline for the 84. He watched the exit for the 18. He's going to put himself right next to the wall. Use that air. Try to find a draft of that car. Where is he going to run? Maybe try to play it safe here. Try to make it work to his advantage and let the 84 make a mistake.
Yeah, he's definitely in no hurry here. I don't think he knows he has better tires. He knows he has a faster car tonight. You know, looks like he's going to try to make that move here within the next lap. But, you know, he would be fine to kind of sit behind here and save some tires a little bit. But looks like he's going to try to go for the pass as soon as possible.
Something he's got going on with him as well. The 24 of Quigley right there in the mix of the race leaders, trying to get his lap back as he comes around the 84 of Kerry Moore to the inside. That's going to play a factor when you've got these drivers that do have some fresher tires, and you're trying to get around. You're racing for position. He does a great job. He gets himself back to lap 79, completing lap 79. So 83. He's about 4 laps down right now. 2 laps down to the number 24. And now the 18 takes the pass as well. He goes for the race lead. 84 in second. McCartney. He's not Paul. He's Levi McCarty. McCarty, 24-25 I rating. The A-class driver having a great drive off. There he is, gold digging it, grave digging it, whatever you want to call it. Fairfield Motorsports all over that Toyota. He's having fun.
You know, he's doing a great job right now, and to see the team owner right in front of him, already 2 laps down. You know, is he going to play nice? Is he going to say, "Hey Fletcher, I know you're having a bad night. You know, I'm sorry, going to make it a little bit worse and put him 3 laps down." Looks like right now he's content to kind of follow in behind this 24 of Fletcher Quigley. We'll look to see if he continues to ride behind him or eventually goes over there and passes him for another lap down.
Yeah, I think that 24 he has fresher tires. It is what it looks to seem right now. This 24 is still able to drive away from this 18. And as Mr. Woody would say, Mr. Quigley, unfortunately not finding himself very quickly tonight, as he's going to get up on that 77 of 7 Crawford, looking to find his way around, not for position, but that 24 going to get around that 77 with ease. At this point, I think you're right. Sort of fall in line. Stay behind this 24. Stay behind the 77. Well, not 77, as Levi does make his way around him. I think you sort of follow in that 24. See what he's doing. He's already created a 1.5-second gap over Kerry Moore.
Well, something that's going on with Quigley. Quigley is actually pulling away from McCarty. He's figured out something with his line. He may be a few laps down here, but he's running 13th. He's got a good line. He's got a good drive off. He's getting around cars a little bit with ease. He's actually had, by my standings, he came into the pit road on lap 71. Levi came in on 72, so there's a little bit of fall off from the 18 speed. But right now, the 18 just needs to maintain. 84 in second. Rule Thane there in third. Fleming in fourth. Tommy DeLago all the way back to fifth. Now another driver to talk about, the 8, the Beer Nuts 8. He got around Tommy DeLago when Tommy DeLago was still running kind of the same lap times he was, and was able to do so this last time by. He's about 0.2 of a second off of Levi McCarty. I'm saying it correctly, I promise.
Yeah, Jason, I wouldn't be surprised. Tommy might have gave up that spot right now, but if we keep going green flag here, I would not be surprised to see Tommy make his way up into third, maybe second place. He's just so good saving those tires, as we see the 18 of Levi McCarty catching lap traffic again.
And as you were speaking of that Beer Nuts, the 8 of Matthew Fleming, he is now closing in on the 60 of Rule Thane, getting closer and closer. This is the battle right now. This is the only battle we're really seeing on the track. 68 attempting to go at it, but they're not finding themselves closing in much. They're sort of a bubble, sort of keeping them up, not allowing them to close the gap. But that 8 trying everything he can. He's a fast contender. If a caution does call, I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of the guys fighting for the lead alongside the 84 and 18. Matthew is just looking very, very fast tonight.
He's trying to pull the air off of the back bumper of the 60. You see him run a little bit higher there to get the run into the corner. That still pulls the air from the 60 when he comes off the corner onto the backstretch. He's going to make that pass. Does so nice and easy. He has that run to the inside. A little left front damage for the 8, but there's nothing too drastic about that. Rule Thane looks like he has just kind of settled in to fourth. Fleming up to third. Does he have enough to track down 30? We're looking at 37 laps to go, 38 laps to go here. They're running pretty nicely.
They are running pretty nicely, Jason. This is one of those races when you see a guy like Levi having the night he is right now. If it's going green, you're not thinking about winning this race. You're thinking about getting as many spots as you can. You're thinking about getting second or third place. So I think we might see a little bit of strategy in the back there. We might see a short pit. I mean, maybe not. Levi's got such a big lead up in the front here. If you short pit, you're in danger of losing 2 laps. So that might not be the case. But these guys behind him, looks like they're fighting for second and third tonight.
Yeah, the guy.
Go ahead.
My ball.
Go ahead. You got it, bro.
Okay.
Get it.
Well, my apologies about that. Didn't mean to interrupt you there. But, yeah, I think the battle is on for second place. This 18 is just checked in, checked out. He said, see you later. I'm going to find myself over already set on the end of this one, looking for the next one. Unless if a caution does fly. That's the only thing I love to ask is what if? What if a caution flies? What if they need to find themselves down pit road one more time? What if they don't have enough fuel? And that's constantly what rolls through a head of, well, me, as you think about this. But this 8 of Matthew, he's trying to close the gap. The 60 of Rule Thane, trying to keep up with him. But 84, he's starting to fall off a lot. Last time by, ran a 25.4. Matthew, this time, ran a 25.5. So actually, Kerry is driving a little bit faster, but not fast enough to catch Levi. Levi's still 0.3 faster than everybody else on the field, Jason.
It does look like the only driver that's going to be better than him is going to be 2 laps down, and that's going to be Fletcher Quigley. He's right there in that grand scheme of the kind of setup that he has. So he's utilizing that midline. Looks like Levi is utilizing that midline as well. Just trying to navigate a little bit of the traffic here. Keep yourself off the wall. These B cars are right front dependent. So if that splitter drags the ground, if the tire skips at all, if your brakes skip at all, or you keep yourself too close to that wall, it'll all play a big factor. That's what I look at is what is that right front doing, and how is Levi going to be able to carry that? If a caution does come out, everybody to pit road except for those who need a free pass.
Yeah, definitely. We see Levi. He's got about a little over a 5-second lead right now. For him, he just needs to continue doing what he's doing. Just keep it off the wall. I mean, that's really the only thing that can stop him tonight. If he gets himself into the wall, if he gets into lap traffic and they don't let him by, those are really the only 2 things that are going to stop him tonight.
30 laps to go. McCarty, Fleming, Thane, Kostritza. That's a name that I'm used to seeing. Sean in the number 46 has a good old John Deere paint scheme. Looks like he backed into a telephone pole there, though, a little bit. Tommy DeLago still, he's given up a spot here and there. I think Tommy DeLago, I wouldn't be surprised if we start looking at McCarty. According to pit strategy, he might be able to save a little bit here, but if he doesn't, he short pits himself. He's going to start putting more and more drivers laps down, like Brian Kaufman, who's coming to pit road now from 8th.
Yeah, we know that the 18 of Levi can make it. I believe he said you can get about 65 to 68 laps on a fuel run. So he should be safe. He might have to save a little bit, but I imagine he's safe. I believe everybody else, though, or almost everybody else, though, is going to have to come in one more time.
Yeah, Levi finding himself coming in around the 70 range. Yeah, at this point, as long as he does what he does, there shouldn't really be that factor in of, do I need gas, do I not need gas? Now, when you look at a guy like the 8 of Matthew or maybe the 46 of Sean, they came down, I would say about 3 or so laps before this 18 found himself down pit road. But yeah, you're right about that, Jason. It does look like he backed up into a telephone. Arrow all screwed up. It doesn't look like it's affecting him too much, but at a short track like this, could it affect your turning with that rear end being pushed up just a little?
With the way that the rear spoiler works here at a short track, you're not as aero dependent here as far as the long straightaways. You are aero dependent for turning. So if you get somebody that is very close to you, it can upset the rear end of that car into a turn, and especially on the exit of a turn. So that's the only thing that would worry me about Kostritza. But if iRacing went and fixed it, then you know what, he did good. Levi McCarty looking strong out there. Top Esports 1 giving some love. 2-stepping, says LMAO. Well, good thing Kelva isn't wearing a helmet. If he finishes 10th, he would never get. Good to see all the comments out there. Keep the comments flowing out there. Make sure that if you haven't followed, that you do so. If you're joining in from somewhere else, I appreciate you and all the good love. Top Esports has a Facebook page and a YouTube page as well, a YouTube channel as well. So go give Top Esports some follows out there. Thank you to Graham Construction for being the Xfinity Series sponsor. One of the big things that I'm going to be looking at here going over to the next 24 laps is Levi McCarty is going to have some lap traffic to deal with here. Now, the 8 of Fleming came in on 65, 24 to go. He's going to be looking at anybody making a mistake. He's going to stay out as long as possible.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be just a couple laps short. But yeah, I mean, that's his only chance at the win. He's going to have to stay out and for every last drop he has in his fuel tank. That's going to be his only bet to win the race. But if he's thinking even with a caution he can't win the race, he might come in before that. He might be happy with just a podium finish. But if that's not the case, definitely see him stay out as long as possible.
Well, I'm looking at Kelva right now in 9th. He is slowly but surely catching the race leader through some lap traffic there. That's gonna be a big mixture here. You got different fuel strategies, you got different tire strategies. Some guys came in and got fuel, some guys came in and got 2 tires. And actually, I take that back. I saw 2 tires before everybody came in and got 4 tires this last time by.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a scary thing for Levi. There's gonna be guys that are gonna be a lot faster than him with all the fresh tires on the track. Guys are gonna be around him racing. He's not gonna be able to pass the lap traffic like he was able to. They're gonna be passing him, so it could get dicey. I imagine guys are gonna keep it clean, but it's always something to keep in the back of your mind.
21 laps to go. Trevor Zeleny there is going to be the closest lap down driver in 13th. He's going to be the driver that will approach, but he's still 5 seconds off the pace. Looks like Kelva, a little bit, something happened with him there just a second ago. He just kind of dropped hard. Looks like the 0-1 went around, so it does look like Brian Kaufman getting to 9th, trying to just hold on to what he has there. Rule Thane came to pit road. He's going to be fast as well. There's drivers all over the place on different strategy. You got 2 drivers, 1 lap down. You've got 4 drivers, 2 laps down, and then just a slew and a mix of kind of everybody out there. Levi McCarty doing a phenomenal job here, 3.8 seconds over Kaufman, who's going to be the closest driver now to him, but he's got a 6.8 second gap between he and Fleming with 19 laps to go.
Yep, 6.8 second gap, and we know the 8 of Matthew Fleming is going to have to come in, or we believe he's going to have to come in one more time to pit. So, and I believe Tommy's in the same case. I think we could potentially have a race where every single car is a lap down. Possibilities. Do you lap the field? That's going to be on the mind of McCarty. Does he have to come to pit road? I do believe I watched a couple of lap times there for a little bit for the number 18. He has begun to save a little bit. A little bit of contact. How about the caution is going to come out there? That'll be with we just watched the 86 of Delago come around the corner, and we'll go back kind of to the replay of what happened right there. As as that caution will come out. So a lot of contact for the 86. So that'll change nothing. Other than you've got 6 drivers that are most definitely going to come back in and do it. It looked like the 86 was set it into the corner there and came around the 006. Looks like Mr. Caps, Mr. Narbrough. I'm going to say it wrong again. The 006 is out there.
I think it's Narber.
Yeah, it's Narber. Is that Bob? That's Bob right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that is Bob.
I'm going to say Bob. Bob, I like you. I'll get your name correctly one of these days. Bobby will be the recipient of that, and I think it was just a heavy send into the corner. So I'm going to look at this one more time. Yeah, just a little bit of fast car meets car on the bottom.
It's so unfortunate when that happens. I mean, and like we were just talking about it, the courtesy between the guys with fast tires, courtesy with the guys with slow tires, and sort of finding that balance, unfortunately, wasn't there. 86 found himself spinning around. But now for these other guys, hey, that's a huge gain for them. Now they're finding themselves having to battle this 18. But in the same boat, is this 18 going to have the same speed he originally had? Or was that just the difference of the tires that allowed him to create this gain, Abram?
Oh, he's definitely had the speed all night. The big thing that happened with that caution, it took Levi's lead from 7 seconds to 0.001 seconds. So obviously he can't be too happy about that, but he's got to be confident in the way that he's been driving tonight. He's had the short run and the long run speed, so I think he's going to be all right. but definitely not the caution you want to see when you've built yourself such a nice lead.
The driver to look out here is going to be your lucky dog. That'll be Kerry Moore. He's going to have to start at the tail end of the field here, and he's going to have some lap traffic to deal with as well. So you got your lucky dog, and then you got some free pass cars. They're going to be single file from the 84 back, and that would be your technical 7th place position. Cole Thomas still technically a lap down right now. He's looking for his free pass. Quigley. Quigley will be a lap down. He's going to look for a free pass. Real Thane, Kaufman will be getting a lap back. Tardif will get a lap back. It looks like a lot of folks staying out to try to get that proverbial wait for the next one kind of situation.
Yeah, it looks like the 24 Fletcher Quigley got back on the lead lap as well. I don't know if he had an iRacing issue. We've had those in the past. He might have gotten a waiver round for that. That might have been the cause of the caution earlier on in the race before you got here, Jason.
Yeah, Fletcher did receive a waiver round administered by the race control, so that's kind of interesting to see. But man, he's fast. I think he could be a true contender if he can make his way through the field. Plus that 84 of Kerry Moore. I mean, a lot of these guys, 86 of Thomas Delago, he's proven to have speed. 8 of Matthew Fleming, obviously he's shown to have speed. But the question is, in this all, do you want to start beside the leader or behind the leader?
Right now, I want to be behind the leader.
Oh, yeah.
And the only reason why I say this is because Iowa's so unpredictable. You don't want to be on the outside on the restart here. Brand new tires for most of the drivers, except for Tommy Delago, who's trying to make track position there. He came in and got right sides only, it looks like. So you're looking at 2 drivers that are, or maybe he came in and got some things repaired. I'm not quite sure, but the Beef Jerky Unlimited number 86, maybe just trying to try to find a good position here, but he's going to be swallowed up very, very easily by about 5 cars right behind him.
Yeah, that's a good sign for the 18 car when you see a guy with damage like that on the back of his car there on the restart. You feel like you're going to be able to get a pretty good jump, and hopefully for Levi that 86 will kind of hold up that top line for him.
Well, we are shifting into nighttime, so these guys have been used to racing daytime the entire race. It was all day, and just now, as this is all happening, we are transitioning into night. You can see the sun slowly going down, and at this point, I mean, cars are going to act different. You see pace lights are off the car. Cars are going to act different. We'll have to see who's going to be the slippery one, who's going to be the stable one when this gets all in set. But pace car are going to pull off. Jason, take us to green.
18 gets the jump. He's going to make the run there. 86 to the outside, slow on the restart. The 2 tires not going to be able to give enough grip. You're going to be able to see them here. 8 to the back. He's going to be there low. 81 of Jaden Gimble. Fastest lap of the race for that driver. Down to the back stretch. Folks into the wall. A lot of checkups are going to be happening. Levi McCarty out front. He got the jump he needed. 0.4 of a second gain already on the 83-degree track temperature of Iowa in the nighttime.
Looks like we've got a lot of aggressive driving behind this leader here. A lot of guys looking to pick up some spots.
81 has the fastest lap of the race. We talked about that just a second ago, but he is going to be all over the back bumper of the 8. We talk about the proverbial bump and run. Does the 81 of Jaden Gimble get right to the back bumper, send him up the racetrack, and say, hey, you know what, you're holding me up here? I don't know. I think the 8 gets a run. Fastest lap of the race ran Levi McCarty, 24.12, just happened right there.
Originally the fastest, I mean, this battle early on before you hopped in here, Jason, was a huge battle between this 81 and 18. Levi and Jaden, and it was the question between who's going to be able to take the lead over each other. They were just constant battling. As you see at 43, Cole Thomas going to lose it down in the back, going to go in the grass though. Huge save by the 43, Cole Thomas. Man, how about that? But yeah, 81 of Jaden Gimble looking to get around this 8 of Matthew Fleming, while this 18 of Levi McCarty just being able to drive off into the sunset. 8 laps to go, Abram.
Oh, he's loving seeing these guys battle in the back for that second place position. That's his best friend right now. And he's doing a phenomenal job. Obviously, just ran the fastest lap of the race. You know, he's definitely determined tonight.
8 not giving up the eye line there. He's going to be able to carry speed. The 81 of Jaden Gimbel needs to get to the outside of the 8 if he's going to try to force an issue here. Front stretch a little bit better for the 81, but turn 1, turn 2, not so great as he can't clear the number 8. 8's going to be able to pull ahead here. Quigley, the 24, came through the field. He's all the way back up to 4th. He was in 13th, 1 lap down whenever I came into this race. And look at him now. He is in 4th inside the top 5 with Kustritsa right behind him.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. It looks like he's starting to work that high line a little bit. Looks like Jaden's kind of refusing to run that high line. He's content running this low line, and Matthew Fleming's doing a great job of holding him off.
I think Jaden Kimball might just have to settle in for 3rd here, because if he doesn't, he's going to have the 24 all over the back bumper.
Yeah, 24 of Fletcher attempting to apply some sort of pressure. I mean, Woody says it best. Mr. Quigley, originally getting his wave around, starting in the back. Now he's moved his way up in the 4th. He's got that 81. He's got that 8 right in his windshield. Question is, though, can he catch him with about, I would say, 5, 6 to go left in the race? He has the speed. It looks like he has the determination. Question is he going to make the move? Ooh, close on that 81. He's going to move to the top lane, attempting to try to do something, trying to collect air somewhere. Starting to fall off just a little bit, though.
81 is going to be really low. 24 is going to fall off onto the front stretch. There's going to be a lot of moving. 4 laps to go here. 18 really carrying the distance. The more that they battle back there, the more that these drivers are going to be able to just kind of, this driver here, the number 18, the 24, the 81, making it hard racing here. 24 is going to clear. Kustritsa is going to be right there behind. 81 of Jaden Gimbel falling way back here. And that wall not being his best friend. 60th Thane, 1 lap down at 9th going around him here. As Levi McCarty, 3 laps to go, leads him onto the backstretch. A good race right here. I'm seeing, I don't know how many cautions you had before. I was just coming in just to get the call in, because these guys are fantastic. But the 18 able to try to walk away with it. Barring a catastrophe and any other kind of caution here, I do believe the race is pretty much locked in. 2 laps to go here. McCarty, Fleming, Quigley, Kustritsa, and more. That'll be your top 5 so far. Does anybody have any last-to-lap moves going forward?
Looks like the only thing we could have is maybe the 46 of Sean might be able to get around the 24 Fletcher Quigley for 3rd place, but it looks like he just tapped the wall there. But we've only had 2 cautions tonight, so it's been great running by these guys tonight.
And I witnessed one of them. Levi McCarty is going to come down to the backstretch for 2 more turns and was able to have the restart of his life here at Iowa. Jaden Gimbel, a lap down to the race leader. He goes a lap down, and he's going to win it here. He's going to bounce it into the wall, celebrate hard and heavy, and congratulations to the number 18 on the race win here at Iowa.
Man, a great run by the 18 of Levi. Really quickly, talk about that 24.81. It looked to be, about 2 laps until the end of the race. Those 2 actually got collected in each other. Found themselves making contact through the 81 up in the wall. 24 Fletcher going to find himself actually finishing 3rd. So top 3 is going to look like this. 18 of Levi McCarty able to grab the win. The 8 of Matthew Fleming going to find himself coming in 2nd. And the 24 Fletcher Quigley gonna be your top 3 tonight, rounded out by the 46 of Sean Kustritsa and the 84 of Kerry Moore for your top 5. How about that? I mean, such an exciting race. Only 2 cautions. Jason came in at the right time at the end. Abram, man, fun race all throughout.
That was a great race. A lot of green flag running. These guys did a phenomenal job tonight, and it was a pleasure to watch.
Big old congratulations to Levi McCarty for being able to turn in the lap of the century. Iowa's a great track for what they consider the 1.25 mile, 1.75 mile tracks. But I tell you what's absolutely insane. Levi McCarty is going to be a race winner. Matthew Fleming is going to be 2nd. Quigley in 3rd. Kustritsa 4th. Moore in 5th, Delago 6th, Colt Thomas in 7th, Jaden Gimbel first car, 1 lap down in 8th, Rule Thane in 9th. Brian Kaufman rounds out your top 10. The 0-1 having a good race. Lap down be the last, Joe Tardif be the last car 1 lap down, having a fantastic day. Kelva, Zeleny, Narbur, And Crawford will be all the way through 15th. Resler, Woody, and Zirkle all the way at the end. 121 for Zirkle. I tell you what, that was a good looking race for the most part. Any more drivers back here? I think James is out there running the numbers for us. Appreciate you, James, for what you do. Making sure that the league is running and functioning very well. Who we got in the broadcast? Who are we going to talk to first? How about we talk to the race winner, Levi McCarty? I came at the right time when you were leading, and you led every lap that I was able to watch. And apparently, you had one heck of a race. I was watching your lap times there as folks came to pit road. You were able to kind of capitalize on what happened there.
Yeah, so it was a fun race. I had good speed. I practiced hard this week. I figured out I ran a lot of fuel runs this week just to see what it was going to be like. And we got that caution early, lap 10, and there was like 3 guys that came down pit road. It was surprising to me. It was kind of an easy call at that point because we were getting like 60 laps on gas. So I mean, could make it on one more stop, and I had good speed there. I was confident, even if the caution did come out, that I could close it out, and I was able to do that.
Well, it turned out to be a winning predicament for you, and the caution came out, and you were able to get that restart that you need. Guys, anything else for the race winner Levi here?
No, congratulations, man! You finally got that first Xfinity win. You did it in dominating performance tonight. Great win.
Thank you, sir. I got to thank Fairfield Motorsports and Traxxas for being on the car, and Fletcher doing the paints. It was a fun race. I had a lot of fun at this track. I was awesome.
Well, Gravedigger won it again. Congratulations once again on the Fairfield Motorsports number 18, making it to victory lane.
Well, I'm going to kick it on over to Mr. Matthew Fleming, man, finding yourself in second place after such a huge run. I mean, you tried getting to the back of the 18, just seems like he was the dominant car in the race, but finding yourself P2 after this one's all said and done, walk us through those last few laps because I'm sure they were chaotic.
Oh, yeah, that final restart. I was just trying to be as close as I could to Levi there on that restart, and yeah. I tried running really hard there, kind of midway bottom, but with his high line there in 3 and 4, I just there was no way I was going to get him. He always had that run on the high side, but overall, I felt we did really good saving tires. I was able to move up the field pretty easily, really. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this Beer Nut Chevrolet getting up here on the number 2 again. Hopefully one of these number 2s will go to number 1, but only time will tell, I guess.
And one thing I would like to touch on really quickly before we send you out, we saw this late race incident happen between 24 and the, I believe, 81. Did you were you hoping a caution fell out so you closed back up on that 18, allowed to go side by side and hoping that you were able to overtake him?
I mean, even if we did, I don't know if I had enough or had the right line to even get by Levi. He was just too dominant up there. I wish I could say yeah, and we'd make it really close, but at that point, I was happy, settling in, giving it all we got. But yeah, trying to say that we'd have something if we went caution. I don't know if we would be able to justify that or not.
You can only know and focus on what you have, man. Well, congrats on your P2. Before we let you go, you got anybody you like think?
Oh, yes. Thank you to Beer Nut, 3D Energy, TexasFamilyMG.com, Douglas Distributing, and MK2 Aerospace, and, of course, the wife and kids. They support everything I do here, give me the time, and then I'll make it up to them here the rest of the week, spend a lot of time. So, yeah, very thankful for all those, and we'll look forward to the next week.
Well, there you go, man. Once again, congrats. That's Matthew Fleming finding his way P2 tonight.
All right, and I've got the 24 of Fletcher Quigley. Fletcher, what a crazy night tonight. seemed like you were in the back of the pack most of the night. After we couldn't really tell what happened there on that restart after that first caution, but you're able to make your way up to third place. Do you think you would have had the speed for the 18 car tonight without that incident early on?
No, I don't. I mean, I was running with Levi throughout the week, and I just don't think I had the speed. I think I had a top 5 car. I got wrecked fairly early on. Couldn't get over voice chat to let anybody know that I got a black flag. Ended up getting DQ'd and got put down 2 laps. And then we ended up getting a late caution, so I got him back, which I'm sure, there's a couple of guys who did complain. There's a couple of guys who were in favor of it, so I appreciate them. It was a bad circumstance, and then got into it with 81 there. As far as I look back on 127 there, looks like you turned down into me. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say. He did and tried to wreck me. He did wreck me after the race as well. So, there was nothing intentional there to try and wreck him, but, it just, we got into each other.
Sounds like some short track racing, but you had a phenomenal run there on that last restart. Top 3. Can't complain with that. Do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, Fairfield Auto Group, Fairfield Motorsports. Big congrats to Levi for getting the win. Really been battling it, and some circumstances have been putting him out of the win with some late cautions, and it's nice to see one go his way, so happy for him.
Well, once again, congratulations, and congratulations to the 18 of Levi McCarty. Jason?
I tell you what, who's your biggest mover? The relative won't update for me because I wasn't here from the beginning of the race. Who's the biggest mover of the race?
I believe
That
it's
is
Sean.
a good question.
Is it Mr. Kostritza?
I believe it is.
Oh, it says...
Actually, no, Matt Fleming.
Yeah,
Fleming.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like Matt finding initially gridding 11th found himself up to 2nd. So how about that?
Well, there's your biggest mover of the race. We would talk about that all the time, about being able to find your way through traffic and find yourself to be the hard charger. Well, Matt Fleming, congratulations on being the hard charger here. Folks, it's been a great end of the race. I'm glad to be able to join us tomorrow night. Make sure you tune in to not only Top Esports 2, but also Signature Esports, because we'll be simulcasting the Beef Jerky Unlimited Truck Series. Thank you to all the sponsors here tonight for the Graham Construction. What a great series of Xfinity drivers that you have. It's been just great to kind of walk myself into this, be able to catch up and see what everybody's doing here. So. Folks, if you want to be a part of the series, make sure you reach out to them as well. Top Esports on Facebook, do that as well. Graham Construction Xfinity Series done for tonight. From myself, Abe, and man, oh man, Mr. Byron. I appreciate you guys. No. I got to pause. I've been broadcasting all day. I've got to pause, catch my breath, make sure I'm doing what I'm doing. But gentlemen, make sure you guys tune in next week. They're going to lead it off again next week for me. But after next Tuesday, I will be here from the beginning of each race. We have, I'm finishing up the eNASCAR Racing Association on my channel, Signature Esports. So make sure that you do all of that. Go give us all likes and follows. Be one part of the community. And folks, thank you, Abram and Byron. Thank you very much for